Good morning, Slop Nation, and welcome to Slop Chop. This is a new podcast hosted by myself, Harvey Mulvihill. It is about the happenings of the internet, and it is your one-stop shop for slop. We're trying something different here at Slop Chop this week. We changed the camera angle a little bit. I think we're like further away from the background set, and also I'm recording this at 3 in the fucking morning. This is like this is gonna be the ASMR episode because I'm gonna be quietly doing a podcast while there's people sleeping literally in one like 5 feet from me. There's someone sleeping. It is 3:15 in the morning. It is in fact an excellent morning here at Slop Chop HQ, and we have just so much slop to discuss this week. So thank you for joining me. Let's get right into it. Just as a quick reminder, if you do not care about one of these slopics that I'm discussing, you can always skip it. There are always time codes in the description of the episode on whatever platform you godforsaken listeners choose to listen to this on. No, I love you guys. All right, moving straight into our first slopic of the week. I want to just read this Reddit post. Blew the fuck up, brother, on X.com, the everything app, this week. 37 million views on Twitter. Just a screenshot of a Reddit post with the caption, "Holy fucking shit." That is the caption. And you know what? After reading this Reddit post, I think similarly. I agree with that sentiment. So here it is. Here is the Reddit post. Strap in, because it's a fun one. Let's actually crack open another ASMR. That's probably so loud. All right. I'm a developer for a major food delivery app. The priority fee and driver benefit fee go 100% to the company. The driver sees 0% of it. That is the title of this post. All right, so there's your there's your hook. Let's see what they got. I'm posting this from a library Wi-Fi on a burner laptop because I am technically under a massive NDA. I don't care anymore. I put in my 2 weeks yesterday, and honestly, I hope they sue me. I've been sitting on this for about 8 months, just watching the code getting pushed to production, and I can't sleep at night knowing I helped build this machine. Holy shit! Build this machine. Fucking like it's Terminator 2. You're the black guy from Terminator 2. You're created like Skynet. Can't sleep at night knowing I built this machine. All right, moving right along. You guys always suspect the algorithms are rigged against you, but the reality is actually so much more depressing than the conspiracy theories. I'm a back-end engineer. I sit in the weekly sprint planning meetings where product managers discuss how to squeeze another 0.4% margin out of human assets. That's literally what they call drivers in the database schemas. They talk about these people like they are resource nodes in a video game, not fathers and mothers trying to pay rent. First off, the quote-unquote priority delivery is a total scam. It was pitched to us as a psychological value add. Awesome terminology. Like I said in the title, when you pay that extra $2.99, it charges the Boolean flag in the order JSON, but the dispatch logic literally ignores it. It does nothing to speed you up. So the priority delivery thing is allegedly just a complete, like just a psychological $3 nothing charge. It does absolutely nothing. Okay, so here's the kicker. We actually ran an A/B test last year where we didn't speed up the priority orders. We just purposely delayed non-priority orders by 5 to 10 minutes to make the priority ones feel faster by comparison. Management loved the results. We generated millions in pure profit just by making the standard service work, not by making the premium service better. I think I buy that. You know, this is the first time, honestly, when the thing feels a little like you raise an eyebrow. Perhaps we generated millions in pure profit just by making the standard service worse. I'm like, okay. How do you generate millions? Are you sure? Like, I don't know. That seems a little. Here's the fun part. But the thing that actually makes me sick, and the main reason I'm quitting, is the quote-unquote desperation score. We have a hidden metric for drivers that tracks how desperate they are for cash based on their acceptance behavior. If a driver usually logs on at 10 p.m. and accepts every garbage $3 order instantly without hesitation, the algorithm tags them as high desperation. Once they are tagged, the system then deliberately stops showing them high-paying orders. The logic is, why pay this guy $15 for a run when he knows he's desperate enough to do it for $6? Yikes. We save the good tips for the casual drivers to hook them in and gamify their experience, while the full-timers get grinded into dust. Oof. That I can totally see. I think most if not all of this I can totally I buy. I don't know if it's been debunked or anything yet, but that specifically, it makes sense. It's like the scummiest thing ever, but why would you give your high value, high reward things to your people who are willing to do the garbage work? Oof. All right. Then there is the benefit fee, quote unquote benefit fee. You've probably seen that $1.50 regulatory response fee or driver benefit fee that appears in your bill after the recent labor laws passed. The wording is designed to make you feel like you're helping the worker. In reality, the money goes straight to a corporate slush fund used to lobby against driver unions. We have a specific internal cost center for policy defense, and that feeds directly into it. You are literally paying for the high-end lawyers that are fighting to keep your delivery guy homeless. Oof. Again, very funny and very, very, very corporately minded to charge the customers for the anti-lobbying fund. Pretty good. And regarding tips, we're essentially doing tip theft 2.0. We don't steal them legally anymore because we got sued for that. Instead, we use predictive modeling to dynamically lower the base pay. If the algorithm predicts you're a high tipper and you'll likely drop $10, it offers the driver a measly $2 base pay. If you tip $0, it offers them $8 base pay just so they can get the food moved. The result is that your generosity isn't rewarding the driver, it's subsidizing us. You're paying their wage so we don't have to. I'm drunk and I'm angry. Ask me anything before this gets taken down. Banger, banger, banger post. Yeah, so let's quickly go over basically their main points here and see which ones that we agree with, or I can, again, most of this I can see. The priority delivery being absolutely fake, that makes sense to me. I'm not a huge food delivery person, or if I do food delivery, I typically don't use DoorDash or Uber Eats because it is impossible to get out to purchase a meal and get it delivered for less than fucking $40. You double the price of your fucking food by getting it delivered, and it's like, I'm a drive-through person. I'm willing to get in my car and drive through a place and eat in my car, shamefully. I don't, I've never been, not never, but rarely am I desperate enough to order food that way. I'll order a fucking pizza from the restaurant, from Domino's, or I'll order like Chinese takeout and have them deliver it to me. It just feels less gross, and it's way cheaper than fucking Uber Eats, DoorDash. The other one, Grubhub. So anyway, that totally makes sense to me, the priority delivery thing. I think that there's also the priority Uber. Like you can get your Uber faster. That's another thing that I never use, but it tracks. That tracks to me. I could see that being totally fake. It's also not that if the charge were higher, if it was less, or if it was more than like $3, if it was $10, it might raise some red flags or more red flags. But because it's only like $3 or $4, you can get away with that for a long time. Because people are gonna be like, whatever, it's like an extra $3, so I got to get there fast, or I want my food quickly, just sure. And they'll never think twice about it. And also, it's not like they're timing the person, or they just see they see whatever the app tells them. They see that their food got pushed up in the queue, and it makes you feel good, even if literally nothing happened. You know what I mean? Because when you think about it, like, the driver is not like they're still going from restaurant to delivery to restaurant to delivery. They're not like hitting 7 restaurants and then delivering to 7 different people. It's not how it works. The food would get cold. right? So there's not really a whole lot you can do. It's not like there's, and I wonder if you can accept multiple at the same time as a driver. I don't think you can. I think you can, like, you have to finish the one that you're doing to accept another one. I have to imagine. Anyway, but the priority delivery total scam, that tracks. That tracks. I do. It's very funny to me that they ran an A/B test where instead of speeding up the priority orders, they just slowed down the normal ones. I feel like uh, that line of thinking is so common in every freaking industry. Just make the base version shitty, and so then we can charge more for the premium one. I mean, that's like every streaming service does that now, where the base version now has ads. Like, fuck you. Guess what? You're paying for Netflix with ads. You're paying for Amazon Prime just has ads now. Go fuck yourself. Because companies are typically not in the business of leaving money on the table. They don't enjoy that practice. Speaking of which, yesterday at work, this is a sidebar, but I wasn't feeling super well, and so I decided to leave several hours early, and it was like, oh my god, if I leave right now, it's like I'm literally setting a $100 bill on fire. You know what I mean? I never had that, like, the point A, point B clarity. I'm an hourly worker, so if I leave early, I get paid less. And I was like, I could go home and do jack shit and, like, not be here, but I would be literally, it would be like walking up to or pulling $100 bill out of my pocket and setting it on fire. So what I did, I compromised, and I just set a $50 bill on fire. All right, moving right along. The desperation score. I've got a feeling that they don't call it this. If there is some sort of a metric that tracks how desperate drivers are and how willing they are to take the dog shit deals or orders. If some fucker lives in McKinney and you typically deliver in downtown Dallas and he's gonna pay you $4, you're driving like 40 minutes for a $4 fee or charge or fare, whatever the term is. Some poor bastard is going to be desperate enough to do that, but most people are not. And so therefore, like, you're not going to even offer that to or even if you do offer it to the normies, the ones who are doing this, you know, after their normal job for a couple hours a night, they're not going to do that shit. But your full-timers, especially when it, like, on the when it slows down, you know, in the middle of the day, or like not your peak lunch hours, your 3:35 p.m. and or fucking rush hour traffic or something like that. You're gonna give those to the full timers who are willing and down to do the dirty work, that have a history of fucking eating shit, who are willing to eat the shit because someone's got to do it, right? I also wonder. So, like, to this person's point, this anonymous Reddit user's points, with the high tipper thing. So if they predict that you are a high tipper, then they'll charge the base pay will be low, and vice versa. If you're a low tipper, they'll just charge the person, they'll pay the person more, the delivery driver more, just to get the food moved. But, like, what if it does the order, will they pay? My question is this, sloppers, because I don't know the answer. If there's like an order just sitting in the queue for X amount of time, what if it's like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and no one's picking it up because it's a horrible order? Again, it's like a $5 fucking payout for a 40-minute drive or something terrible. What happens in that case? Does Uber Eats increase the base price to their drivers bit by bit? Okay, well, now I'll pay you $4, now I'll pay you $5, now I'll pay you $6, until it eventually either gets took or canceled. That, I have to imagine that's probably what happens. Or maybe the algorithm's just smart enough to calculate it off rip and it doesn't need to update it in real time. Who knows?
But anyway, I totally buy. It's another one I totally buy. The desperation score. As a matter of fact, I think I buy all of this. Yeah, again, I have no idea if any of this is true or has been disproven. You think people would just go on the internet and tell lies? I can't imagine someone doing such a thing. No. Certainly this is accurate. I'm going to take it as 100% true. And I will be sharing this information to those who I encounter in real life. I will be... have you guys heard about this crazy Uber Eats scandal? Meanwhile, it's a fucking anonymous Reddit post where they don't even name the name of the company. Did you guys hear about this fucked up Uber Eats thing? I thought that was Grubhub. Nah, it was definitely Uber Eats, bro. Oh wait, did I say Uber Eats? I meant fucking DoorDash. It was DoorDash, I think. It was Uber Dash. It was the Grub Eats. Yeah, desperation score. They probably don't have it. They probably don't call it that, but very funny. So yeah, some poor desperate fuck who's trying to provide for his kids. Why give him the high tip, the good runs? Pretty funny. And obviously despicable, but very funny. You know, like this level of corporate greed and just kind of when it's plain as day like this. If this is true, that's kind of just what I wish is everyone knows that these companies are scum, kind of horribly bad and treat their people terribly and don't care about anything but the bottom line. But I just wish there was a little bit more clarity. Do you guys ever have those fantasies? I mean, this is like you have the three wish genie fantasy as a kid, right? And you're like, all right, what's like the most optimal wish that you could come up with? You know, you're like, all right, well, you have to account for genies will fuck you over. They like to take things literally when you meant them figuratively. They like to take expressions at face value. They like to poke holes in whatever you have, whatever you obviously meant. Like, I wish I had all the money in the world. Okay, well, I'll literally give you 100% of all money on Earth, which means everyone else has nothing. I'm like, no. I meant it was a figure of speech. So then you go like, okay, first wish. I wish that you understood what I was trying to get at for my following wishes, and you didn't take them literally. I wish that you had a complete understanding of what I want in the following couple of wishes. Okay, bet. All right, wish to I wish that I was like an all-seeing, all-knowing sort of godlike figure. And I don't know, a third one would be like, I don't know, money or sex or some I don't know. I don't know what the third one would be. But you have these fantasies, but the reason I brought it up is because it would be, I do, like, you want to know, what I want really more than anything else is just like knowledge of the inner workings of society. I want to know what's really going on out there. And it's tough because, and this goes with everything, politics, this sort of corporate level stuff, malfeasance. The issue is that to get in the inner circle of these places, you have to work there for like fucking 40 years. And you have to prove yourself time and time again. And you have to eat a ton of shit for the company. And I'm just not willing to do none of that. I don't care enough about it. I just want the juicy details. And then also, you can't befriend someone who has done all that stuff and just get them to tell you, because they're not going to fucking tell you. They're only going to tell the other people that have done the same things that they've done. They're going to talk to like the people inside the circle. But I want to be in the circle. I just don't want to do any of the work. So I need a genie, you know? But those are fucking hard to come by. Do you guys have the three wish thing? Do you guys have you've run through that fantasy in your head? Don't look at me like that. Don't you fucking turn your nose up at me because I was vulnerable enough to tell you guys about my genie thing. You have a genie thing, I know it. What's yours? Let's hear it. Let's fucking hear it. Was it boring? Was it just money or bitches or something? No, dude, you got to get technical with it. You got to be like, yeah, I think that's what I would do, is just all-seeing, all-knowing, sort of godlike figure. It might get boring, or you might, I don't know. You'd also want like an off switch, but with the all-seeing, all-knowing, godlike abilities, you would also inherently have the ability to turn it off, or like make yourself forget if you wanted to just live the rest of your life in blissful ignorance. You turn it on and you go, oh, jeez, fuck. Oof. Like, oof, that's what happens after you die? Jesus. Fucking Christ. All right, well. Oh, boy. We're like, yeah. Oh, God, we're like the only... even scarier would be like, oh, no, we're the only living things in this entire universe. Yes, it is like infinitely huge, but just from some crazy cosmic irony, we're the only things that's the only place with any level of life. Oh, that's depressing. Jesus Christ. All right, well, and then you just take the forget me now pill, and then you go back to your life as a struggling podcaster. Wish fulfillment, again, there's so much of fantasy, or there's so much of fiction. Wish fulfillment is such a common trope, little boy fantasy, because it's such a rich, kind of fun world to lose yourself in, and that's like every little boy's fucking number one sleepover question. Okay, if you had superpowers, what would it be? Because you don't actually give a fuck what your friend says. You just want to say your thing. And like, yeah, time travel is fucking OP, dude. You can't say time travel. Okay, then fucking flying, because flying is cool too. Shout out to sleepovers, man. Adults should do that more often. Totally platonic sleepovers. We don't do that enough. I just did that with my buddy. Had a completely platonic 3-day sleepover because I got kicked out of my house because I had family come in, and so they needed my bed. So I went and stayed with a buddy for 3 or 4 days. We just watched movies every night. It was fun. We both got up and went to work in the morning, and came back together, and we did not do the thing of like have Adult Swim on in the background and talk about girls in class until 3 a.m. I think we might have outgrown that a bit, but we did stay up until 12:30, 1 a.m. watching a film, and then we discussed the film briefly, and perhaps smoked a cigarette or something, and then we went to bed because we're old. And I'm not too fond of the females anymore anyway. Yeah, those are the days though, right? Those are the days. And maybe I'm getting sentimental because it's 3 a.m. right now, so it reminds me of those times, Those, like, it was always Family Guy on an Adult Swim. And then the moment you knew it was time to go to bed is Family Guy would transition into Robot Chicken. And then Robot Chicken would play for seemingly the rest of the night. Like 3 fucking hours. And I was like, Robot Chicken's fine, but Family Guy is what we're there for. And they had the prime time slot of probably midnight to 2 a.m. or something. And then Robot Chicken was after that in the witching hour time slot. Shouts out to Adult Swim. So many great properties. Did you know that all those properties are soon to be owned by Netflix as part of the Warner Brothers acquisition? That shit's crazy. There's so many so many IP, so many things going to Netflix, allegedly, after this year-long sort of corporate buyout situation. I wonder if Netflix has a desperation score, similar to Uber Eats or DoorDash or whoever this was talking about. And they'll feed you lower and lower quality slop depending on what you choose to accept, right? This is not even a question. This just definitely exists. I don't think they'll need the expose like DoorDash here did. But I think every company in the world is doing this, the desperation score. I think every company on earth does this. And just the more desperately they perceive a customer, they feed that customer with, or employee, they'll just provide that person with worse and worse quality items or infrastructure or slop. It's kind of beautiful when you think about it, you know? All right. I think we should move along. Moving right along to our next slopic here. Speaking of slop, have you guys one of the funniest things that had happened this past week? Stranger Things conformitygate. All right, if you don't know, Stranger Things finale came out last week, and or it was like a week and a half ago. We forgot to talk about it last week, but I want to talk about it now. Conformitygate, hilarious fan theory that so people were disappointed with the ending of Stranger Things. There was a general sort of disliking of the last season. It got a lot of Game of Thrones comparisons. There's a ton of discourse about just general TV fall offs, how it's kind of really hard to land the ship successfully. No matter how good your television show is, there's very few instances when it was like banger. It's like incredible quality all the way through. It's a tough thing to do. That's why Game of Thrones comparisons. So Stranger Things, from what I understand, I have not watched past season 3. Season 1's great. Quality's cute, fun, nostalgic. It makes you nostalgic for a time you weren't even around for, because it would, it appeals to young people, and I'm sure there's plenty of people that were born in the 80s or that grew up in the 80s that got a lot out of it for that reason. But mostly it was appealing to people who were young, it was fucking YA, PG-13 drama, cute, fun, just endearing, sweet. And apparently the Duffer Brothers had the whole show planned out. They had 5 seasons planned out, and they knew exactly what was going to happen in all 5 seasons from the initial pitch meeting. That's what they are telling people. I think that is bullshit, personally. I think that the first season is pretty tight, and it definitely, like, because of the success of it, it got greenlit for another, and then another, and then another, and it became a sort of phenomenon. So therefore, you have to like kind of pull stuff out of your ass and keep introducing characters, and it became a kind of a clusterfuck, right? So season 2 was mid, 2 was solid, 3 was mid. I actually stopped watching around that time. Apparently 4 was really good, or pretty good, and then 5 shit the bed hard. So fans were sad and disappointed, and there's like the general vibe. This is all just secondhand, but the general vibe of season 5 seemed to be, it was like 15 characters in a room explaining what they were going to do, explaining what they were going to do to defeat Vecna, and my goddamn water bottle's always in the fucking shot. That's what I get for buying a giant water bottle. Yeah, and they do the thing of finishing each other's sentences. Like, all right, So we're going to go to the mind layer, but wait, we can't go to the mind layer at 3:15 because, and then fucking Michael jump in because 3:15 is when Vecna's tea time is, and then fucking Steve Harrington be like, okay, we'll bring some tea for tea time, and then we'll wait, we'll drink some tea, and then it'll be 5:11 anyway. The that like sort of kind of punchy, it's very current day MCU, the type of writing, millennial writing. And it's miserable. I can't stand it. I am not a fan of that. I hate exposition in general, but when exposition is done poorly, it pulls me out of a thing quicker than any other trope, any other fucking thing. Just exposition dumping sucks. That's why I hate anime. So that's what season 5 was chock full of, is exposition dumping. And then the penultimate episode, it included the Will Byers coming out scene, which was endlessly mocked online because it was an hour and a half long, and it's Will tearfully coming out to literally every other character in the show. He's confessing his sexuality to a room full of 35 side characters. Like every character that's ever been a part of this program is in a room, and he's just like, oh, I'm gay as fuck. I take it up the ass. And you know, coming out's a big deal. I've done it myself, and it's never like you don't want. You want like you do it to the people closest to you, and it's like a tough thing to do, and you usually tell like one person at a time, maybe two. But the fact that it's just everyone in a room, Red Letter Media made a great point, which is that it's actually impossible to block that shot successfully. When there's that many characters in a room, it's impossible to make it look compelling. It looks like shit. And I just don't understand the thinking there of like, well, we gotta have Billy Bob from season 2 show up. He has to be part of this big emotional moment. Everyone's going to be wondering where Billy Bob's at. It's just odd. It's odd, man. And it would have hit so much harder if it was just the core 4, maybe plus the mom and the brother guy. So it's just strange choice. So that scene got super memed on, and then that ended up being the lowest rated episode of the whole show, is that penultimate episode. So then the finale rolls around, and I think people they're less down on the actual finale itself. It's just like it was apparently mid. It wasn't horrible, but it was mid. And then somehow this whole fucking theory got started. Conformitygate. I just looked it up and I was like, where did the term come from? The term came from the fact that it seemed like every character kind of just fit right back into the role that they started in. No one has changed. Everyone is just back to square one. No one's dead. They didn't kill a single fucking person. And then also like, like everyone just goes back to square one. Everyone goes back to square one. So the fans are outraged. They're like, there's no way this is the real ending. It's too cute. It's too perfect. It's too cookie cutter. There must be a secret final episode. This is the only explanation that makes sense, is that they intentionally put out a fake finale and told the whole world that that this was indeed the final episode of the show, when they have a secret 9th episode of season 5 in the back pocket, just waiting. It's going to be incredible. It's going to be the cultural sensation of the century. They're going to shadow drop a 9th episode the day after the quote unquote finale, the fake finale drops, and it's going to blow everyone away. Because there's no way this has to be some sort of it's Vecna playing tricks on the characters. That's what it is. Vecna's still around. He's still alive. And everyone's conforming to their previous iterations as characters. And meanwhile, Vecna's going to have the last laugh because episode 9 is going to be a true shocker. All right, so there's your theory.
Cut to the fucking, like, the official Stranger Things Instagram made a point they changed their Instagram bio to, like, all episodes are streaming on Netflix now. That was the closest thing they got to denying this whole movement. Was just in all caps in their Instagram bio. 100% of the episodes are streaming on Netflix. Which is funny. So they didn't outright say that there's no 9th episode, but that's basically what they said. And also, of course, there's no fucking 9th episode. Of course not. Can you imagine the idea, pitching this idea to, like, the Netflix higher ups? All right, this is your most popular show of all time. It's your baby. It's extremely lucrative, extremely popular, long-running, beloved IP. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to release a shitty finale that everyone's going to hate, and then tell everyone that is, in fact, the final episode of the show. And then a couple days later, we're going to shadow drop the real final episode without any promotion or telling anyone. And a handful of nerds on Reddit will be happy about it. And 90% of the general population will miss it entirely because they thought that the show's already over. We're going to spend $100 million. It's just an extra $100 million for this final shadow episode. It's going to be great. It's going to be awesome. And it's going to blow the tits off of Reddit.com. Like, there is no worse idea. It is the dumbest thing that I can possibly think of to do for your show. It's, like, beyond stupid to do that. And also, it wouldn't... There's no... Even in this Disneyland perfect idealized scenario where this is true, it's not going to fix the season. The season was still bad, right? It's just going to... It would just, like... Again, it would appease a handful of nerds. So there's just absolutely zero chance of it ever happening. It is very funny that the internet's got all up in arms about this. I'm curious to know who started it, because much like every big cultural trend, there has to be one person who had the idea and posted it and then got traction and began the movement. Conformitygate. Hilarious term, by the way, conformitygate. I think my AC just turned on, which is weird because it's already cold in here. So then I was like, again, the discourse this week was all been about terrible endings for TV shows. I looked it up, or I saw a post. I had no idea that One Punch Man had a horrifically bad season 3. I think that's the steepest drop off I've ever seen for a television program, other than exactly Game of Thrones. And Game of Thrones everyone knows about, but there's another one, and it's One Punch Man. Which, by the way, I don't give two fucks about anime. Couldn't care less, but apparently One Punch Man is pretty good and, like, kind of meta, and it's for people who don't like anime. So I think I might enjoy it. But season 1 and 2, super highly rated, like 9.6 to 9.8 average rating per episode, and then it's like a 4.6 for season 3. Like, every episode of season 3 got review bombed. Like, everyone hated it. So that's pretty wild.
But yeah, then another thing I saw was like, has the secret episode thing ever happened ever? Has it literally ever once happened? And the closest that they got was Smiling Friends did a secret holiday episode, but that was not anywhere close to like, it's not like they called it the finale and it wasn't the real finale. It's not like there was some sort of dramatic tension that needed to be explored or released. It was just, they just released a holiday episode. So it has literally never once happened ever in the history of time. And the reason for that is because it's a terrible idea. A terrible, terrible idea. So, shouts out to Conformitygate. It is so funny. And God love you to all the Stranger Things kids who got their panties all in a twist about this. You know, it is what it is. Again, it's a tough thing. It's a tough thing to land the ship, land the plane. I think there's like 5 ever television shows that have done it. Like, can you name them? I don't even think Sopranos got away unscathed. People hate that finale. Maybe that, I don't know. I think Sopranos might be one. But Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul. What else? I don't fucking know. Mad Men? Maybe? Is that it? The Wire? Do people like the Wire ending? I got no idea. Tough thing to do. But on the subject of Game of Thrones, because that's the king of the fall off. And truly, there has never, maybe never will be another fall off quite as bad as Thrones, because no show has ever captured the cultural consciousness like that had. And it might be the last show that ever does it that way, because the landscape has shifted so much. But people I'm sure people do remember actually just how much of a fucking titan Game of Thrones was. An absolute behemoth. And no one gives a fuck anymore. Nobody cares about it or talks about it ever. My dad's actually rewatching it right now. I think he's on like season 5, so I'll go in and just watch bits and pieces of wherever he's at. It is phenomenally fucking good, that show. I mean, just probably the best thing ever put to television. Seasons 1 through 4, most of 5, and most of 6 are like the best thing I've ever seen. And then 7 and 8 are absolute dog shit. People don't talk about 7. People like to rag on season 8, but season 7 sucks just as bad. Season 7 is a fucking disaster. Absolute travesty. What's crazy too is like season 6 is pretty good. There's like, it starts once as like the moment that we run out of book to adapt and the showrunners start writing dialogue. Like, it's what's crazy is like those two guys, D&D, David Benioff and Weiss, I believe their names are. They are, forever. They will forever bear the shame of what happened at the end of their show. But and by the way, with good reason, they fucked the pooch. But they do deserve credit for adaptation. They're excellent at adapting George's novels. They're just not good at creating their own stuff. Did you guys watch the 3 Body Problem thing on Netflix? It's fine. That's their follow-up project. They were going to do a Star Wars thing, and then everybody hated season 8. So they were promptly fired from the Star Wars situation, along with 15 other directors, potential directors that were all going to get their own Star Wars trilogy. Back when Star Wars was in the business of handing out trilogies like hotcakes. But yeah, of course they were the first on the chopping block because because of the fucking travesty of the finale of that show. It's really something. That is the biggest L of all time in television history. There cannot be another one to rise that high and to fall that hard. Toby, no, you cannot be doing that. Yeah, no show has ever risen and fallen that hard. We have such sights to show you. What's the Hellraiser thing? Such sights to show you. Such peaks and incredible valleys. Wow. It's actually not really. It's just a mountain. It's just a single. No. What is the curve? The curve for Thrones. It's like it starts fucking high with like a low. It's like a high altitude but low incline. And it rises all the way through 4. And then it dips for 5. Then it's like it starts declining through 5 and 6. And then like a sharp right at the very end of season 6, you get like a fucking crazy bump in the road. And like if you're on a bike and you're on the decline, you're gonna get thrown off your bike because in my opinion, the finale of season 6 is the best episode of the whole show. It's crazy. That episode is fucking crazy. And then we go straight into season 7. So it's like a fucking devastating plummet into despair. You're flying down at a literal flat. It's like 180 degree. No, it's 90. What's the thing? What's a flat? What is the angle of a straight up and down line? Do you guys know? But anyway, that's the angle that you're flying down your bike at for season 7 and 8. So shouts out to Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones remains the property, the IP that I was most obsessed with, that I was most into ever in my life. I was so into Thrones. I was just I mean, read all the books twice, at least twice, maybe 3 times. Talked about it ad nauseum. What a show. What a show. What a world to lose yourself in. And it's gone. It's gone. It's dead. The new spin-off, it looks fucking annoying, honestly. Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, Dunk and Egg adaptation. They inserted Marvel millennial humor into my Game of Thrones, and I am not looking forward to that. We're going for a lighter tone. The thing about Game of Thrones is that we need a little bit more humor in it. We need a little bit more, a little more joke. We need like Deadpool to come in and fucking swing in and say something meta and stare right at the camera. That's what Game of Thrones is lacking, I think, is a little bit of brevity. Wouldn't you say? I'll probably watch it. But that's because I'm a shill. And I will give up on it immediately if it sucks. I came around to House on the Dragon. There's a little house on the back of a dragon. House on the Dragon I enjoyed quite a bit. But unlike most people like season 1. I thought season 1 was fine. Okay, so here's my... I watched it as it came out, and I was like... It was one of those things where I felt obligated to continue, and I was enjoying some of it, but then most, I was like, whatever. I'm not like in love. But then I rewatched season 1, and I like straight up without any breaks, and I really enjoyed it quite a bit actually. The time jump is such a tough thing. If you're unaware, after 4 or maybe 5 episodes in season 1, they jump forward 10 years, and then all of your actors are played by different actors, minus a couple who they just put old age makeup on. But most of your actors are played by new actors, and they do a pretty good job of imitating the old actors, or vice versa. It's likely that the young actors were trained to imitate the older ones because the older ones are going to be your characters for longer. But the young ones you're introduced to, so you're like, you kind of you become accustomed to these youngins, and then they're kind of stripped away from you. Bizarre choice, but that's how the books are written. So, and another thing, I'll get off of Thrones here in a second, but interestingly, also like the Game of Thrones show was obviously adapted from the A Song of Ice and Fire books, and those are just a narrative, like, books. They have like characters, and each chapter is from a different character's point of view. You have your point of view characters: Tyrion, Daenerys, Jon, Sam, a couple of other handful, and you see the world through their eyes, right? And it's pretty easy to adapt that into a television show because there's just straight up dialogue and scenes that you can pull from and make happen. It's called The World of Ice and Fire is the book that they're using for the House of the Dragon, House on the Dragon. It's written as if a maester or like a scholar is recounting the history of a time. So it's just like bullet points. This happened, then this. It's like you're reading a history book. There's no scenes or character dialogue or anything. It's just like, this house did this, which made this house do that, and then this house responded by doing this. Period. Next paragraph. This king then died, and his daughters fought for the crown. This daughter killed that one. It's like it's just bullet. It's literally just the entirety of the show is something like 24 pages of just history, and it's right in the middle of a 500-page historical document. It's kind of like the Silmarillion in Lord of the Rings. This is George R.R. Martin's version of that, where he's just giving you the entire history of Westeros in little bite-sized chunks, and we're just the House of the Dragon is just adapting a sliver of that book. So totally different deal, and they must have. I mean, obviously it's different showrunners. It's not David and Dan are, I think, just like executive producing, their hands off. So I don't know. They hired competent writers because it's compelling. It's well written. So anyway, I'm looking forward to that. It is fucking so annoying that every show has a 3-year gap in between each season now. Because I'd forgotten about that show entirely until this Night of the Seven Kingdoms trailer started or arrived online. I was like, oh yeah, there's another Game of Thrones show that I was watching a while back. Oh yeah, House of the Dragon, that's right. Like, it's been that long to where I barely remember it. Remember when Game of Thrones came out every fucking year? Or like every year and a half you get a new season of Thrones? Or Breaking Bad, like every 365 days there'd be a new season of Breaking Bad. Rip to that fucking... It's just different now. Everything's different. And worse. Different and worse. On that cheery note, let's move past this. Enough of this. Toby, how are you the loudest freaking breather of all time? Can you guys hear my dog breathing? Do you hear that? Okay, whatever. Fuck it. We ball, brother. All right, Tom Segura and his wife Christina P got stuck in the Caribbean, which is funny. There's not much to say about this, but they got stuck because of the Venezuelan stuff that's happened. They were in the Caribbean and now they can't get back. So they're stuck over there. Rip to those two. I love them dearly. They are my My favorite podcast is Your Mom's House, and so they might miss an episode of my beloved Your Mom's House if they didn't bank an episode because they're fucking stuck in the Caribbean, because of some freaking world event or something. And I'm like, brother, I need my slop. I need my gosh dang podcast. What's this deal? What's the deal with this Venezuelan president that the United States is fucking grabbing or something? They're going in there and grabbing him for something, and I'm like, brother, don't they understand that Tom Segura and his wife Christina Pajitsky have a long running podcast called Your Mom's House, and they do it together as a comedy duo, married couple situation. It's very cute and fun, and they make fun of internet videos together online. And they post it every fucking Wednesday. The competing with Slop Chops time slot. So for the record, they're taking most of the market share. I would say the vast majority of the Wednesday morning share is going to them. But perhaps this week I'll have it all to myself because they're stuck. They're stuck because we decided to go over there and grab a guy or do a thing, and we're running the country because of oil or something. I don't know. Something is happening over there, and it's preventing me from getting my goddamn mother freaking podcast fix. So I don't appreciate it. I will not have it. I think I will promptly be writing a strongly worded letter to President Donald Trump, and I'll say, hey man, what the fuck is the deal, dude? Let's give this guy back. Just hand him to the lovely people of Venezuela. I'm sure they'll be appreciative to have their man returned to them. Actually, they seem to be pretty stoked about him leaving. So maybe he's not the best guy. Maybe we can just get him on the podcast. Get the Venezuelan dude on Your Mom's House. Fly him to the Caribbean and just do like a remote episode with that dude. You probably need a translator, which is not ideal. Probably bad for listening purposes, but you can edit around that. And it could be interesting, you know. They could talk about farts and fucking insane internet faces of death, watching people get mutilated on trains. That's just a fun kind of wholesome activity that they could do together. And that might honestly be the way that we solve this conflict, is to get him on Your Mom's House. Get the Venezuelan. What's this man's name? Venezuelan guy we captured. All right, so Nicolas Maduro, I think he's the guy who did the COVID vaccine. Moderno. Is that anything, ladies and gentlemen? Just that their names kind of sound similar. Is that comedy? Is any of this comedy? Yeah, so we're gonna get the petition is to get Maduro, COVID man Moderno, to we'll fly him to the Caribbean to meet up with Tom and Christina to do an episode of Your Mom's House. And I think this will solve the kind of brewing conflict between the two nations, and also potentially snuff out any sort of early World War III situation. Just because we'll get him on camera, he'll have a laugh, he'll make fun of a mentally disturbed homeless man, and you know, and then afterwards, if he's a good guest, they'll fly him into Austin, and he might need to be escorted by security or have his hands handcuffed behind his back at all times, but we'll give him the option. It's either this or get executed, or like get extradited back to the country that we plucked you from, where they hate you. Or you could do this podcast and get Harvey his mother freaking Wednesday fix. So shouts out to Tom and Christina. Let's talk about the Golden Globes. The Golden Globes. Everyone's favorite freaking award show. Yeah, it's like, do we The only reason anyone gives a fuck about this is because, or actually, there's two. There's two reasons that anyone gives a fuck about the Golden Globes. Number one, they kind of, it's like a sloppier award show where they're serving alcohol and they hire a comedian, usually, who is not afraid of roasting the people in the room. This year was no different. They hired Nikki Glaser, who just like Nikki Glaser is still, in my opinion, like one of the best performances I've ever seen a comedian do during that Brady roast. Like she absolutely fucking destroyed, lit the room on fire, and secured herself multiple gigs that night, like this one. So she, she's great. I think that she did okay this year. Her opening monologue was fine, not great. I think even last year's was better. I think she kind of, for some reason, decided to not go as hard. Maybe she just like, I don't know. She got a note. She got a note from freaking CBS to tone it back or something. She also clearly got a nose job and looks insane. Kind of like her nose. She looks like she has like Voldemort nose now, which is I don't get. I mean, I am but an outsider who lives in Dallas, Texas, and maybe it'll make sense to me if I move to LA and start drinking the baby blood that those people fucking do. Start injecting pure adrenochrome into my bloodstream. But outside looking in, it doesn't make sense to me to change your face up when you're pretty already. It does make sense to me to change your face up and like get the surgery if you got a big fucking honker Sarah Jessica Parker nose or something. Or or something, I don't know, if you have like a fucking a malady, like a giant mole with its own teeth, that makes sense to me to fix up. But if you're already pretty, which Nikki Glaser was already pretty, it's strange to me to like do the surgery and make yourself look fake, like clearly how, it just reads right away like you've had work done. And I don't get that impulse. Is it just vanity? Yes, it is just vanity. But like, why would you be vain though? Because everyone in the world thinks that you're pretty. It's just you. Is it like your own insecurity? Okay, yes, it definitely is that. All right. I'm walking myself through this right now. We're gonna get to the bottom of this, sloppers. So like you compare yourself, obviously you're in Hollywood and you're comparing yourself with other super freaking pretty and well off and having surgery people, meaning people that are surgeries in the wheelhouse of things that they're doing on a regular basis, and you surround yourself with folks like that, and then like it is just sort of the norm to get work, to get touched up, to get touches up, to get touched up, right? So therefore you think that you need it because everyone else around you is doing it. I could see that. But Nikki Glaser is a fucking comedian. Yeah, but she made the jump. Yeah, but she made the jump. She made the jump to fucking doing stuff like this. If you're not hosting the Golden Globes as a female, well, no, because Amy Poehler and Tina Fey got out unscathed, so you can get out unscathed. Interesting. I don't know. Perhaps it's a case-by-case basis and everyone's different, and some people just feel like they need the surgery because they are insecure about the way they look, even though they shouldn't be. And everyone in their life tells them they don't need it, and once you do it, it's too late. And all you can do is get more to fix the fucking the bad shit that you just got, which is unfortunate. So the solution is more surgery. You can't un-get the surgery. You just have to get more of it to make it look semi-normal. So that's tough. It's tough. But she looks pretty. Yeah, it's not like she's a. By the way, she is not like she's not like Caitlyn Jenner or some shit. She looks like she looks good, or Michael Jackson. She does not. She just has Voldemort nose now, whereas last year she did not. So, but that's just the first thing that I noticed because it's right in the middle of her fucking face, and also her jokes weren't winning me over super hard this year, and her dress was Can we talk about her dress? I don't know. It seemed like a lot. Seemed like she was doing a lot with the dress. With the dress and the nose and the mediocre jokes. Anyway, just being a hateful cuntful. It's 3 a.m. That's why. My God, it's 4 a.m. now. It's 4:30 in the fucking morning. Anyway, so let's talk about the actual meat of the program. The monologue was fine. It was fine, and we can move right past it. I didn't catch any of her other bits or anything. And also, gotta say, like, I turned off the new Ricky Gervais special after 10 minutes, and I couldn't stomach it. It was a big pile of cringe. But no one has ever come to his level of hosting the Golden Globes. Nobody can touch that run. I think he did it 5 times. They kept asking him back. And he was always just the most ruthlessly mean. Fucking not giving a shit. Insane. Just shit that you do not say to a room full of A-listers. He would consistently say that over and over again. Shouts out to Ricky Gervais. No one does it like that guy. He won Best Comedy Album this year, or Best Special. I think mostly because it's the Golden Globes and they love Ricky Gervais, because that special was dog shit. I actually don't know if it was totally dog shit. I just turned it off after 10 minutes because I thought it was the first 10 minutes were bad. But anyway, he was not even there to accept the award. Wanda Sykes picked it up for him. Let's move right along into these winners, shall we? Okay, so I'm sorry, apologies. What I said earlier was there's 2 reasons that people gave a shit about the Golden Globes. One is because they hire a comedian and the opening monologue is usually pretty great. And it's a sloppier award show. People are drinking alcohol. And so you can get some dirt under your fingernails. That's number 1. Number 2 is because it is the earliest award show of the year. And it is a good roadmap for what will be eventually considered at the Oscars. There are exceptions to this. I think La La Land won fucking everything at the Golden Globes, and then it didn't win shit at the Oscars, except for Emma Stone. A couple other ones. What's the Social Network? Won fucking everything at the Globes, didn't win shit at the Oscars. So every once in a while, that'll happen. Sometimes, especially early, like during the whole award season cycle, because this is so early, narrative shift. Things change. People tire of a film. People tire of hearing about a person. And like early year movies sometimes will just be out of the cultural conversation. Like Sinners didn't win fucking shit. Spoiler alert. Which I'm fine with because I didn't love Sinners, but it won score, which it absolutely deserved. But I don't think it won anything else. So like Sinners might just be not happening at all. One battle after another, won everything. And guess you bet your bottom dollar that motherfucker is winning the Best Picture. But we're getting ahead of ourselves now. All right, the other stupid thing that the Golden Globes do is that they separate, they have 2 categories for Best Picture. They have drama and then musical or comedy. Which is the dumbest thing. It literally means nothing. It might as well be drama or just the hard one to win in, you can submit your movie to the hard one to win in or the easier one to win in. Because if I'm not mistaken, let's just scoot back down here. Yeah. There are literally 0 musicals or comedies in this list. Literally 0. Best motion picture, musical, or comedy. Blue Moon, which is the Linklater thing. Begonia, Marty Supreme, No Other Choice, Nouvelle Vague, which is fucking New Wave, the French New Wave, the making of Breathless, also by so what's his name got nominated twice. Linklater got nominated twice. That's fun. Anyway, and One Battle After Another. Oh, you guys remember the wonderful musical sequence in Marty Supreme? The hilarious One Battle After Another. The outrageous comedy of that film was. So it's a stupid classification that literally means nothing. And it's just, studios will submit their movie to the category that they think it can win in. That's all it is. There's just 2 opportunities, 2 pools of films to win Best Picture, quote unquote Best Picture. So the drama Hamnet won. It beat Frankenstein. It Was Just an Accident, Sentimental Value, Sinners, and The Secret Agent. And the 2 foreign films on that list are It Was Just an Accident and The Secret Agent, both of which I have not seen, both of which are supposed to be awesome. One Battle After Another won musical or comedy. The hilarious and sing-songy One Battle After Another. K-Pop Demon Hunters won Best Animated Motion Picture. It is probably going to recreate that at the Oscars. I don't think anything else could top that. Maybe Zootopia 2, but probably not. I think K-Pop's got it. K-Pop's going to win an Oscar. Oh, Jesse Buckley won for Hamnet. The guy in A Secret Agent, or The Secret Agent, Wagner Moura, won Best Actor, beating out The Rock, Jeremy Allen White, Joel Edgerton, Michael B. Jordan, and Oscar Isaac. Damn. I gotta see that movie. I've heard it's awesome. But I'm kind of happy The Rock did not win. I didn't see that movie, but I find him annoying. And also, he's better as a big giant guy. Why'd you lose the weight, dude? Oh, does someone not like spending 7 hours a day in the gym and only eating fucking 1,500 calories a day exactly? Oh, boo-hoo. And also fucking definitely juicing. There's no way a human can be that huge, right? Especially if you're not competing. You just need to look big for the movies. You're juicing, brother. God, he was gigantic. And also the fact that like he lost so much weight immediately. It makes me think that he just stopped the juice. Which again, I don't blame you. No, I do blame you. Fuck you, The Rock. You should be like a mountain of a man. You should be comically, ridiculously gigantic. That's your whole thing. You should have a 0.04% body fat and weigh 275 pounds. Rose Byrne won for If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. Best performance by a female actor in a motion picture. Heard that movie is awesome. And you better fucking believe it, Timothée Chalamet, the King Twink himself, won Best Actor. And I think with this win and the Critics' Choice a couple days ago, it's pretty much like it's made him the absolute frontrunner for the Oscar. It's exciting. I think he's gonna pull it in. He's I didn't watch his acceptance speech for the Globe, but his acceptance speech for the Critics' Choice thing the other day was super humble and very sincere and sweet and not at all braggadocious.
he's been doing this sort of like crazy braggadocious like fuck you, come try me, I'm the best thing, which is very cool and hot. But anyway, he kind of changed his tune for this most recent speech, I think probably wisely, because people don't take kindly to that shit, especially if you're accepting an award. You can do that at the Oscar at the very end of award season, but this early, you got to play your cards right. Play it chill. And so I would be surprised if he didn't. I'm sure he probably played it chill in this acceptance speech too, but he's getting my beloved Timothy Chalamet is getting a goddamn Oscar. You better fucking believe it. You better believe it. And well deserved, man. Well deserved. He's the coolest guy, and he's exceptionally talented. And I want to fuck him. I want to fuck him. All right, crazy Teyana Taylor won for one battle after another. Best supporting performance by a female. It's funny too, by the way, that I knew they were gonna do this. This is the first time I've clocked it. They're saying best performance by a female actor in a supporting role. Female actor. I think there's a word for that. It's a little tighter that we've been using for years and years. I do understand why they're not saying actress anymore, but like that is the reason. Female actor. I get it. It's not like I don't get it, but it's funny to like ignore a word that's right there on the table. It's right there. She's an actress. Anyway, she was awesome. Really, really impactful performance, but she was not in the movie very long. She was in there for like fucking 15 minutes. But, powerhouse performance, gotta hand it to her. So, shouts out to her. She might come home with the Oscar. That's exciting. Stellan Skarsgård. Pretty much, I will ride for this man for the rest of time after Andor. He's the coolest fucking guy. He's the best character in Star Wars. He's such an incredible actor. He's never not great. He's been exceptionally good for so long. His children are great. The whole Skarsgård family is excellent. So, God love you, Stellan Skarsgård. I am excited to see you fucking just keep winning all season, hopefully. I will say, though, I would have given it to Sean Penn. Fuck. I didn't see sentimental value. I've heard it's great. But Sean Penn in one battle is unbelievable. Unbelievable. Like my favorite performance of the year by far. Super over the top, super insane, crazy committed. Love that performance. So yeah, I would definitely give it to Sean Penn, but Stellan Skarsgård, come on, man. He's great. He's great. So I'm happy for him. Best Director PTA for one battle after another. I think PTA is going to win his Oscar. Has he won? Has he not won a fucking Oscar? Whoa, he's never won. He's been nominated 11 times. Wow. Wild. Yeah, so they're probably going to finally give him one just because he's never had one before. Cool. He won screenplay too. Holy shit. He deserves it, man. Yeah, one battle after another is winning. It's gonna win. It's gonna sweep the fucking Oscars. Ludwig won Best Original Score for Sinners. That score is fantastic. He is absolutely deserving of that. Incredible composer. K-pop got Best Song. Cinematic and Box Office Achievement. This is the Money Award. The Oscars didn't adopt this, but Sinners won it, well, deservedly. What a stupid award. This is, did you make a lot of money? Here's a trophy. So that's movies. That's movies. We should discuss television just a little bit.
briefly. I don't really give two shits about most of these, except for one, which is look at the Pit one. The Pit one television series drama. I've heard The Pit is freaking awesome. The Studio One comedy. Adolescence One limited series. All well deserved. What did the studio win over? Abbott Elementary, The Bear, Hacks, Nobody Wants This, Only Murders in the Building. I don't know any of those. Or I know of them, but this is the one I care about. Ray Seahorn won a Golden Globe. Kim Wexler is a Golden Globe winning actor, female actor. I think she's good in Pluribus. I'm happy she won an award. It's nowhere near her performance in Better Call Saul. Her performance in Better Call Saul is unbelievable. This is one of the coolest character ever. I fucking am obsessed with Kim Wexler. She's so interesting and layered and fascinating. And just the best. So I'm happy for her. I'm happy that Vince Gilligan gave her her own show. Pluribus in general, I guess I can talk about that a little bit. I finished it. It's pretty good. It didn't blow my tits off. I think the pilot is exceptional, and the premise is really engaging and interesting. It's just like it's slow intentionally, and it can be frustrating when there's not a whole lot happening because you have so many questions. It's beautifully shot, of course, and I don't know. I generally enjoyed it. It's no Better Call Saul, you know, and the writing also is just not all the way there. I would say it's 80% there, maybe 85. No, it's like 75, 80% there, which is pretty good and better than most shows, but it's not Saul. It ain't Saul. And I think the reason for that, I have a theory, and my theory is that Peter Gould, the co-creator of Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, was not involved. I think that Gould is the secret sauce, and that Vince Gilligan is great by himself, but together they're exceptional. So that's my theory, at least. I don't know where the freaking heck this guy was or what he's doing. Maybe it's going to be a Coen Brothers situation, and Peter Gould's going to come out with a show, a solo show of his own, and it's going to knock my tits off. And then I'll realize that he was a genius the whole time. It's possible. It's possible. Es posible, no? Es posible, no? So anyway, shouts out to Ray Seahorn. I don't care about any of the other things here. The guy from the Pit won. Jean Smart won for Hacks. Good for her. Seth Rogen won for The Studio. Yeah, a bunch of other TV nonsense. Anything else interesting? Oh, that's what's up. Owen Cooper won for Adolescence. Owen Cooper's the kid in Adolescence. He fucking killed that shit. It's one of the best child performances I've ever seen. If you guys haven't seen Adolescence yet, do yourself a favor. It's 4 episodes long. They're like an hour each. It's a whole story. It's exceptionally fucking great. And if you don't know the gimmick, every episode is one continuous shot. It's an hour long continuous shot. And it's really, really, really impressive. The behind the scenes stuff is like, it's shocking. Episode 3, I believe, is the best one. Yeah, I think it's 3. The interrogation scene. Holy shit. That fucking scene is crazy. And again, it's like an hour long of just acting. And it's a kid. He's like 13, 14. Just to memorize your lines. An hour of lines. But to be able to perform them that well too. Whew. Yeah, this guy's got something, man. So shouts out to this kid. He's freaking great. Yeah, Ricky Gervais won for stand-up. Gross. Sarah Silverman, Kevin Hart, Kumail Nanjiani, Brett Goldstein, Bill Maher. Yeah, they're going to give it to Ricky Gervais because he's Ricky Gervais and they love him. It's the Golden Globes. Oh, yeah, they did Best Podcast. Dude, where the fuck was Slop Chop? We got snubbed, dude. We got freaking snubbed. Well, I cannot, in good conscience, even give this any coverage because I never got a fucking email or a call or anything. That's crazy that they didn't even think to recognize this pod. Not just like, obviously, you know, it would have been nice to be nominated. I don't even need the trophy. But just to be nominated would be nice. And Amy Poehler, ugh. No, she's great. So I expect this to be remedied. I expect to be on this Golden Globes docket, this list, next year. With all these fucking celebrities. All these people, by the way, are like real celebrities that just started podcasts. They're like podcasters. Okay, that's not true. Caller Daddy is the only one. Okay, fuck it. Fuck the Golden Globes. Kill yourself if you care about this. No, but I'm looking forward to the Oscars, though. Always. I look forward to the Oscars every year. They're in March. We'll be doing an Oscars party with a recap on the pod, of course, of the highs and lows of that evening. My family and I we're the only family left in America that gives a shit about this award show. We've watched it every year, and this year will be no different. It's our Super Bowl. It's our Super Bowl. As lame as that sounds, it's kind of true. We don't really give a shit about the Super Bowl, but we do love the Oscars. I actually get hyped for it. I get excited about it. And I'm pretty sure Timothée Chalamet is going to fucking pull one home this year. My boy Timmy. Timmy's going to pull one home. So shouts out to that. And shouts out to you, sloppers. Thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you for this fun. This is an interesting experiment doing this in the middle of the night. I probably woke someone up at some point. Forgot kind of to be quiet. About halfway through, I forgot about that and started just talking at normal volume. But thank you guys for listening. Genuinely, I very much appreciate it. God love the Slop Nation. And I'll see you guys in 7 days' time. Goodbye.